Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record with you.
My drop, I know my drop, I know my situation. I want to fight.
Production.
But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, especially to you on the West Coast. Very early morning. Some of you will probably making your commute here on the East, getting ready for some lunch. And I guess in the UK, the market that we are catering to, getting ready for that din-din. And speaking of din-din, Andre Ward may be being served up a pretty easy legacy-defining fight, or could Tony Bellew receive the credit that he should get if he is able to derail what is that locomotive Andre Ward with that winning streak? I mean, now with the 2 wins over Sergey Kovalev, if Bellew were to beat Ward moving up to cruiserweight, I think it would still be a career-defining legacy fight for Bellew as well. This is the topic at hand. We have gotten audio, which we will allow you to hear, where Tony Bellew expresses that he and Ward are getting closer with the negotiations. Eddie Hearn was in Las Vegas meeting with Rock Nation. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. And Tony Bellew, like it or not, is the A side, which we can debate. But he is the A side. If you want to debate that, be my guest. You want to make a case for Andre Ward, the gold medalist, you be my guest. But there's only one man on this negotiation table that I see with 3 to 4 options. That 4th option, he was smart. He heard this show. He knows what the fuck is going on, and he was smart not to take that 4th option. But we'll discuss that as well. I'm going to head on over to the Golden State. It's early over there. Get that weather.
Production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just hope the guy, I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. And it's early as fuck. I'm tired. I haven't had my morning coffee yet. So I'm sorry if I'm not on my A game this morning. But Tony Bellew versus Andre Ward. Interesting, to say the least.
Whoa, wait a minute, buddy. Like, I'm all the way over here on the East Coast. We don't normally get great weather. I mean, I wish this all could be California. I think it's girls. I'm going to just say days because usually got better weather. How is it over there? Good morning. How are you? Are the birds chirping?
No, the birds are upset just like me that we got 5 phone calls from a Nestor Gibbs this morning waking me up going, Matt, we got so many topics, man. We got to jump on it. And I'm like, okay. So I put on some clothes, put the cameras on, the lights on, and we're here, and I'm here. So weather's good. It's sunny. It's sunny California. It's the summertime. You know that, Ness. It's going to be 85 plus degrees and be beautiful, just like the women out here. We're good. But Tony Bellew versus Andre Ward, digressing to the topic. Interesting to say the least. I really think it's growing on me a little bit more, to be completely honest. I remember when it was first announced, I was a little bit more hating on it, to be just lack of a better word. I was definitely dissing it on numerous levels. Tony Bellew made a strong case for why he almost deserves a legacy fight, I would say. He may not have said it in that way, but this is his legacy fight. And I know when we have this title and this headline for this video, people are going to think, Tony Bellew isn't a legacy fight for Andre Ward. And I would say exactly right. It isn't. It's a money fight for Andre Ward, but it's a legacy fight for Tony Bellew.
I disagree with you, Matt. We could always play tennis before we give Doomsday his intro into this conversation because, to be honest with you, for Andre Ward, Tony Bellew is a legacy fight because of what he's been able to do. He started at 160, has the Super 6, right? Then at 68, well, he skipped 68, didn't he?
No. Wait, you're talking about Andre Ward, Tony Bellew? Sorry.
Wait. Andre, what did Andre started at 68 or 60? He started at
68.
Was Carl Froch always 68?
Yes.
I'm so lost. See, it's early in the morning. All right. All right. Here we go again. Take it.
Wow.
He's achieved what he achieved in the Super 6
at super middleweight division
at 68. So that right there was the beginning half of his career, which is cemented. Then towards the later half, or this particular portion, he moved up. Again, that's challenging himself. He moved up to face, quote unquote, the best in the division, right? He did that. Now he will be moving up a third time. Just based off that, that's what makes people pound for pound, jumping around in divisions, beating champions. And let's be honest, at cruiserweight, Tony Bellew holds the official WBC. He is emeritus status now, and Emeritus Britis is the champion. But we all know that Bellew is the true winner. He was an underdog in that Matabula fight where he knocked that guy out. So I think that we do have to give Andre Ward the type of credit he deserves if he can beat Bellew, who is a very big guy. And from the audio, you'll see that he's choosing Ward because he feels he's that much bigger than Ward. But again, just to prop up Bellew, this is the same guy that at light heavyweight got knocked out by Adonis Stevenson. And now look at what we're talking about. Look at where he's at. Let's not forget, I'm going to go to you, Doomsday. Let's not forget that his options are David Haye, Joseph Parker, Andre Ward, and even he was contemplating a super fight with Deontay Wilder.
Bomb Squad!
But he quickly realized that would have been,
a very bad decision.
A doomsday for he and his family. But what do you think, Doomy Doom? I mean, do you disagree with me and agree with Matt? Is this a legacy fight only for Bellew because of what Ward's been able to achieve in his career and not the other way around because Bellew hasn't achieved as much as Ward, which could be argued, I'm sure.
I mean, legacy fight, I think that as far as legacy, I think that this would apply more to Andre, in my opinion. Just because he's the one coming up in the weights, you know what I'm saying? He's the one going from division to division, conquering. So, for him to fight a bigger guy and conquer him, to me, would be something of legacy. Now, for Bellew, for me, it would be a smart move on Bellew's part that out of those options that he does have to fight Andre Ward. Simple fact, because that at his stage in his career as a boxer, I'm pretty sure he's going to be looking for money fights. And out of those fights and those options that we're mentioning right now, to me, I think Andre Ward would be the best paying matchup for him. So I think that would be his, in my opinion, his perspective on how to go about that. I think he's going to be looking for the money fight, title fight. That's part of building a legacy. And what's his other option?
I mean, Joseph Parker is an option. David Haye rematch. He discussed that was an option.
Yeah, I think David Haye is probably at the bottom of his options.
Yeah, I think so too, due to the rehabilitation. But I guess we got to discuss this A-side, B-side thing. I guess over here on TBV, our listeners are always hooked on that because I see the chat going crazy, Matt.
Before we go to A-side, B-side, I want to make a quick note about Andre Ward, the idea that he's moving up in weight classes, so therefore it's a legacy fight for him. What's the first thing we think about when you think about Roy Jones Jr.? Do we think about the John Ruiz fight? Do we think about that WBA World Heavyweight
John
title?
Ruiz is not Tony Bellew.
Yeah, you're different caliber fighters, man. Different caliber fighters.
Oh, whoa. Are we acting like Tony
never-
Bellew? Oh,
Listen,
hold up.
John Ruiz
is
never
a
beat
great fighter.
a on his resume.
Are we
Never.
acting like Tony Bellew is a great fighter? Are we acting like Tony
John
Bellew?
Ruiz never beat
Like that? Come on.
John Ruiz never beat a David Haye type fighter. Never.
Tony Bellew isn't even a top 5 heavyweight or a top 5 cruiserweight.
Well, he proved that he was something by doing everything that he's been able to do.
Guy on one leg. I mean, we're not gonna forget that David Haye was smoking his ass for the first 4 rounds till he fucking blew his Achilles tendon. Are we gonna act like that didn't exist? That this guy had one leg and took Tony Bellew 8 rounds to deal with him? Took 8 rounds for Tony Bellew to deal with a one-legged fighter?
So what are you saying? What
I'm
are you
saying that the idea that Andre Ward's moving up in weight classes so this automatically adds to his legacy is bullshit. It is. I'm sorry. Like, that's bullshit.
How could beating a cruiserweight champion moving up a division, your first fight, not be a fucking legacy fight when that champion does hold at least one heavyweight win, regardless of the intangibles? You're fucking crazy. Not to mention, again, that this is the same guy that's career was over at 75. Adonis took care of him at 75 or 68.
Didn't John Ruiz beat one of the greatest cruiserweights?
I mean, given
let me finish. Didn't John Ruiz beat the greatest cruiserweight of all time in Evander Holyfield?
Twice or once?
So are we acting like John Ruiz doesn't have a better win than David Haye? Get the fuck out of here, Ness.
Yeah.
Come on. Like the idea that this fight adds something to his legacy, maybe, but it's not a legacy-defining fight for Andre Ward. Andre Ward had a legacy-defining fight.
We didn't see.
He had a legacy-defining a couple fights with Sergey Kovalev. Those are his legacy-defining fights. This is a cherry on top, and that's all it is.
It's adding to his legacy, man.
But it's not a
Definitely
legacy-defining fight.
Well, defining.
And when you say anyone, this is a legacy fight. That's what you mean. You see,
listen, he's fighting the bigger guy. The guys that you've just mentioned that he's fought for his legacy have been in his weight division within his medium. This guy that he's gonna fight, if he does fight, is a heavier man, and he's a fucking dog, man. Tony Bellew is a fucking dog. He comes to fight, bro. He goes out on the shield. So, for you to sit there and say that this is not going to add on to his legacy.
I didn't say that. I said this isn't a legacy.
Yeah, but you're saying defining. Yes, it's still legacy defining. Was it legacy?
No, it's not.
So beating a heavyweight.
But he's not a heavyweight.
Well, he was a heavyweight. He can fight a
heavyweight. He's not a heavyweight. Like, he's not. He's a cruiserweight.
All right. So
who's a cruiserweight? Who's a cruiserweight?
Tony Bellew is a cruiserweight, in all honesty. He's not a natural heavyweight.
What I'm saying is that he moved up.
You can fight Canelo Alvarez at a 165-pound catchweight. That doesn't make you.
All right. Listen, let's just get a handle on this because we're going off the rails here. Like, it's so all right. So obviously you don't like the fight because let's get to the point. I mean, what are we here for? Do you not like this fight, or is it? Wait a minute. Do you not like this fight, or do you just not like the word legacy attached to it?
No, I don't mind the word legacy attached to it if you specify it. Because, again, I do think this is a legacy-defining fight for Tony Bellew. If Tony Bellew beat Andre Ward, that would be huge. Let's just be honest. But I just don't think this fight makes any sense.
Any sense?
In terms of divisional ranking, meritocracy, I think that
this is the perfect
the path of these two men, this seems like a very odd pairing. To me, it still kind of seems that way. It doesn't make sense.
Mayweather and Conor are a pretty odd pairing.
That's true.
Exactly. This is the perfect time right now. Right now, when you have fights,
ride that wave.
Right. When you have two different opposites on each side of the opponent's side. You got Floyd, you got McGregor, completely opposite. Ward, Bellew, completely opposite, bro. Two different divisions. It was just a pairing we never even fathomed,
I'll put it this way.
And it's within our sport.
Even Broner Garcia was something that we just never expected.
True.
This is the time to do this fight. Not only that, let me just add a little more. Right now, Ward took care of business. He shut the naysayers up. He did a rematch. He knocked out his guy. There's no more controversy. There's no more bully. Wait a minute. There's no more Goliath out there for David to beat. So now David gets his showcase. He's going to go to the UK. He's going to expand his brand. He's going to challenge himself fighting the bigger guy in the UK. We got to go to the audio because, again, people are discussing why is Ward not the A-side. Well, according to this interview, Bellew makes it clear. Like, they're asking Bellew where he wants to fight, what stadiums he wants to go to. He's got stadiums asking him, come here, please. And he's like, no, I'll never go there. So it sounds to me like he's the A-side. And, I mean, let's be honest. Andre Ward could be an A-side maybe in Oakland and sell 12, maybe 13,000. Can he do that with Bellew in Oakland? Or should he just come across the pond?
Go across the pond.
Do it with Bellew and get 30 plus.
And sell a shit ton of pay-per-view over there. It's a money fight for Andre Ward.
And since you bring up pay-per-view, Ward did 130. How many did Tony Bellew versus David Haye sell?
Again, they keep their shit a little more under wraps in the UK. I can go look that up. I think it was in the 800 range, 800,000.
Well, there you go. I'm going to go to the audio while you look for that, and then we'll open up these phone lines. Let me see if I could get to the name of the interview. Shout out to my junior editor, Rob. Definitely official, bringing us this interview conducted by Colin Murray. I think it's called, like, I don't know what that show is called. I may have it pulled up. At Home with Colin Murray. And he goes to the houses of the fighters. In this particular interview, he obviously went to the home of Tony Bellew and conducted this interview. It's a very long one, so I'm going to just go to the nitty-gritty and go from there.
All of this.
Yeah, see, I know I deserve that tap on the back.
You got to bear with me here for like at least 20 more seconds.
Much,
one of them. So the
see,
I've seen in an hour.
There we go.
Yeah, sweating under my arms now.
Fights have to be announced, right? So I'm not gonna. And I don't. It's not what at home is, so I don't care. But you're training now, right? So you know where you're. You know. Do you know roughly who your next fight is?
I've got an option of between three, and I'm not gonna lie.
All three you could fight.
I can definitely fight two of them, maybe not one of them. So the three is Andre Ward, Joseph Parker, and David Haye. So they are the three names. There is no one else. I'm not going to fight Deontay Wilder. He is out the equation. He's too big. I realised that when he hugged me. So he put his arm around me and he like tickled his own chin. His arm went right around my body and tickled his own chin. So at that stage, once he hugged me, I mean, all the way up to us talking face to face, and I thought, you're not that big and you're thin. It wasn't until I put my arms on his back and he put his arm around me and I thought, nah.
Yeah.
In my mind, I just went, nah, not a chance.
Brilliant.
I'm very honest.
It's good you have that that's that honesty, that realism.
Yeah, I'm honest. I'm not, like I say, I'm a realist. So I just have no chance whatsoever. So it boils down to, I met with Joseph Parker face to face. I wouldn't say I'm skeptical of saying if this fight with Hughie Fury is going to happen. What I'm skeptical is he thinks he's going to do this, and this, and he could be ready for the December date. Once again, I'm a realist, not a fantasist. You cannot go from a fight in mid to late September and expect to be ready for December. That's not possible. So,
guys, I want to just stop it there because he's eliminating Joseph Parker as an option due to his current fight with Hughie Fury. And I want to ask you guys that. Matt, Joseph Parker, can he make that turnaround that Bellew's basically taken off the calendar?
Theoretically, yes, he could. Will he? Probably not. I kind of agree with Tony Bellew there that December is unlikely, but a January, February date, that's probably more likely for Joseph Parker. But again, I could see Tony Bellew going, I want to get another fight in. I had one fight in March against David Haye. I want another fight before the year's out. I don't want to only fight one time a year. I totally understand that. So I can see why for his schedule, Joseph Parker is not fitting, and that's why he has to focus on Andre Ward. And what was the last option again?
Andre Ward, Joseph Parker, and David
Haye. That's right, David Haye. David Haye obviously equals money. Let's just be honest. Like, that's the reason why he's still on the table. But he also goes on in that interview and states that he does not want to fight David Haye again.
I just don't know how realistic it is with Haye still rehabilitating. But what did you think on his process of elimination with Deontay Wilder?
I think I said this from the very beginning, that Tony Bellew is not a natural heavyweight. He's been knocked out by guys like Adonis Stevenson. So campaigning at heavyweight past the David Haye fight seems stupid. It seemed like a dumb move to make, and it seemed like one that was only going to equal a payday and a knockout. So I think his conclusion that Deontay Wilder is too big because he's an actual heavyweight and Tony Bellew is not is a perfect assertion to make. It's the right one to have, and to quickly realize that's not a fight for me. I'm not going to win that fight. I may go back down to cruiserweight, maybe pick off a one-legged David Haye again for some money. That's what he's going to do, and I think that's smart.
I don't know if that fight even if I were him, I'd stay away from the David Haye fight. What if David Haye recovers from that Achilles 100%? There's no way Bellew hurts him. Like you said, it took him 8 rounds, and and he had one leg. If Haye has,
who was picking Tony, right? Who was picking Tony?
No one was picking Tony Bellew before that fight.
Who was picking Tony? I mean, I don't know what the odds were for that fight, but I'm pretty sure.
Speak into the microphone, fat face.
I don't. you little slaphead. I don't know who who has the odds on that, what they were, but I know pretty sure that everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people were leaning towards David Haye to win that fight.
Absolutely.
Up until that injury. So.
And by the way, there's no official numbers for the pay-per-view for that event, but there are some rumors on some other websites, like Sports Tech and stuff like that. 600,000 to 800,000 is the range that they're assuming.
Now, let me ask you. He's going to later on go on to say that he's already received all 3 packages.
Yes.
I love this. Again, A-side comments. He's already received all 3 packages from all 3 parties, and now it's a matter of what's going to make him the most. And, legacy, title fight, everything is on there. It's like money fight, legacy fight, title fight. So he could obviously fight Joseph Parker for a belt. And again, legacy, I guess, is Ward because of what he's accomplished, and money fight being Haye. So, yeah.
Are we correct in assuming that's the split? That's what it is? That David Haye is not the legacy fight?
Man, get the hell out of here. How could David Haye?
I mean, I'm just throwing it out here.
All right, no, listen, it's all good. We don't need to debate that, but what I do want to ask is which fight to you guys? And obviously, Blanc, you go first since I caught you dead in sentence. Which one do you think makes Tony Bellew more money? Is Ward a more lucrative fight? Is it David Haye? Or is it Joseph Parker? Who's going to bring him the most dollars?
I'm thinking, this is how I'm going to break that one down. Like I mentioned before, it's Andre Ward that's going to bring him the money. That's my opinion. David Haye is too much risk, no reward. I mean, he's going to go back, risk this guy fighting at 100%. I mean, come on. He's not going to reel in as much buys and money as he would with Ward. You know what I'm saying? Ward has the American fan base. Bellew has the European fan base. You bring those two together, you know what I'm saying? You have a lot of people. I'm not saying that the Americans are not going to turn into a Bellew and David Haye fight. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that you're going to do better numbers with these two guys. And Joseph Parker, like I said, Joseph Parker, I feel like he's always kind of like being tossed to the side kind of thing. But he is a title holder. And if Bellew wants to keep, fighting, sees longevity and in his career, I mean, that'd be a great fight. But definitely Ward is the fight for him, for his career at this point, in my opinion.
Matt, before you answer, you said, how do we know which one is the legacy fight? And Blanc just said something that, sparked something in me. How do we know that Joseph Parker doesn't become a legacy fight? If Tony Bellew beats Joseph Parker convincingly, that would be his second heavyweight. And guys like you guys like you that try to discredit his first heavyweight win would all of a sudden have to eat crow because he legitimizes himself as a heavyweight with this Joseph Parker win, or is it just we thought Parker was good and he's a bum if he loses to a cruiser?
I think it's the first one. I think it's the former. I think that if Tony Bellew were to beat Joseph Parker, get that title, get another win at heavyweight, and let's say that in this time it's not due to injury, it's not due to any sort of controversy in that nature. Yeah, that would mean a lot. Let's just be honest. I would say any of these fights mean a lot. All these are big fights and meaningful fights for Tony Bellew's career. Let's just be real. But very quickly, because, you know, Doomsday was talking about stardom, and that's a topic I love to talk about. Who's a bigger star in boxing? David Haye or Andre Ward?
Andre Ward.
Get the fuck out of here. Ness.
Come on. I mean.
No, you're casual. You're casual. Ness.
No. Like.
Who's a bigger star in boxing? Not America. And even then, I would say David Haye is bigger than
You're
America.
telling me that at this point right now,
David Haye's been paid more.
Listen to me. You're talking about at this point right now, as of right now in Andre's career, you're going to sit there and tell me that David Haye has more star power than Andre Ward. That's what you're telling me?
Yes.
Where's the chat at? I want.
Yes. David Haye still is a recognizable name. He's still personable. He's still.
I'm not saying that he's not
in the media. He's in.
We're saying who's bigger. I've
and
always
still David Haye.
Listen. We can understand that, you know, Ward hasn't been the snazziest guy in front of media and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But come on. Besides that, nah. Well, that's where we're gonna disagree right there. I want to know what the chat thinks about this one, Mick, because at this point in time. I think Andre Ward.
They seem pretty split, and even those that are saying Haye are saying in the UK.
But I didn't specify country. I'm saying.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Take the entire fucking world. You don't need to take one of these countries. The entire world. Who's the biggest star?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to side with Doomsday. I think that at this point, Andre Ward has done.
He can't even sell 200,000 pay-per-views.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
200,000.
I hear you, but at this point, he's done so much. He's on terrestrial television. He has his own show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people watch it.
He's on. You can see him on clips doing fucking hand touch games with athletes I don't even know. You know, basketball players I never know, or quarterbacks. I don't know who that guy was, but the point is, it's out there. He's moving. He's up for an ESPY. He just beat Kovalev twice. He's on pay-per-view. You know, he's they always had him on HBO as a commentator. You know, now he has that television show, and he's bringing good guests on his television show. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a little difficult. I will agree with you on this. Haye sells more pay-per-views in the UK, but you got to understand the UK, they are, you know, boxing's best fans, you know.
That wasn't my only point. So let me finish my my other point very quickly.
Which point was that? The first part of my question a long time ago?
What was your question?
I don't know, the one that Doomsday answered.
No, I actually forget the question. To be completely honest, I'm sorry. But also, I think that
anyway, digressing.
Look, the point of it is at this point in both men's careers.
Oh, I'm not done yet, Doomsday. Sit down. The reason why David Haye is more money equals more money for Tony Bellew is that his split percentage wise is probably bigger in the David Haye fight because he won the first one. The split's probably more close to even for the Andre Ward fight. So while the money may be equal for the overall gross revenue on both events, the splits may be different.
Yo,
more of an equal split for Andre Ward.
Bellew's the A side. He gets the split.
Yeah, but he doesn't get a 75-25 split, maybe.
Yeah, and he won't get a fucking 75-25 with David Haye. What do you think? David Haye turned into like a bum overnight?
No, but he won the fight. Like, you don't think that automatically leads.
Hell no, it doesn't tip it. It doesn't tip it a full quarter.
It tips it.
Man, you're crazy, bro.
Maybe not full quarter, but it tips it. Well, like Andre Ward.
Yo, and first of all, how do we even know that David Haye, Tony Bellew was 50-50 in the first one? I'm sure it was David Haye was probably like the A side. Come on, man.
It was like 60-40, actually. David Haye made about 1 million more pounds.
Matt's reaching.
No, actually, I looked this up because I was doing some research before the show. But I rudely cut off Doomsday. So Doomsday, what were you saying?
He forgot.
I think I forgot this. No, but seriously, seriously though, man. Like I said, bro, Bellew's a money fight is Andre Ward, and it's definitely. I mean, it's gonna look like you might think, Matt. I think you're thinking that it might look like, oh, it's the bigger guy beating up the small guy. So, you know.
No, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it.
Like, you know, but this is definitely the fight.
This isn't Triple G Kell Brook.
No.
Like I don't view it under that.
Even though Bellew is still the bigger guy, he's still the bigger guy.
No, true. I probably would even maybe favor Bellew just because of the size and the style matchup, but still, I just don't.
Let's get to the audio so you can hear his confidence because he favors himself for sure.
Comes down more so to Andre Ward and David Haye. Eddie was in Vegas last week. He met with Ward's people. At the start of the meetings, we were miles out. The figures just don't stack up. We're getting closer. So I got sent the packages of what this one makes me, what A makes me, what B makes me, what C makes me. But then what aren't in the packages is one's a legacy fight, one's a title fight, and the other one is
biggest money fight.
A big money fight and a confirmation fight. So what am I in it for? Well, I'm in it now. We've earned enough. I'm in it now to do something that's never been done before. So what do you go for? It's hard to break it down. It is, and I have got a decision to make, but I'll make it. I like all three fights, and I'm not joking you when I say I believe I can win all three fights. As much as they'd write me off, I'm telling you now, mate, I would manhandle Andre Ward. There's just no way. It's 2 ways about it. He will not be able to. He couldn't run from me for 12 rounds. That's not in his way. He likes to get close, mess you up. He's Bernard Hopkins 20 years younger. But I'm just too big. You cannot. The weight classes exist for a reason.
Whoever it is, it will be.
Let's debate that. Let's discuss that a little bit. He said he would manhandle Andre Ward, and that's why weight classes exist, brother. But isn't that the pot calling the kettle black, being as though that he moved up and people counted him out?
Yeah, especially since he moved from lower weight classes like 160 and 168. Tony Bellew was in the same weight classes that Andre Ward was in. So like that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Though the style, his reasoning for the style of Andre Ward likes to be in close and rough up people, and that's really his bread and butter, does not lead well to going up in weight class and fighting a guy like Tony Bellew. I agree with that.
Bellew's confident because he knows he's the bigger guy, and as you can see him saying that he's gonna manhandle him. I don't know if he's underestimating or he's just talking right now early, but Andre Ward's ring IQ and the way he moves around the ring and the way he does come in, everything's calculated. So for him to think that he's just gonna manhandle him, I don't know in what way. I don't know if he's gonna try to wrestle him around the ring. I don't know what manhandling means, but definitely he's confident because he's the big
manhandle him, yo. A la Sean Porter versus Devin Alexander. You know what I mean? Andre Berto was a bad performance in my opinion. Too many headbutts. Listen, Sean Porter has used his style more effectively versus Devin and Paulie. But Berto, it got a little ugly. But listen, guys, we're definitely going over the time. We got to remember that the Adrian Broner and Mikey Garcia weigh-in is today, and we want to be covering that. We also got another topic we want to come back for. So we're going to go ahead out to the sponsors and then our callers. So really quick.
Fight fans, don't leave the decision in the hands of the judges. Download the Throwdown scoring app and receive live scoring, CompuBox stats, boxing predictions from other users around the world. Head over to your iPhone App Store or your Google Play Store and download it absolutely free.
Going out to our junior editor in the UK.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
BJ was gonna beat me, didn't you? You predict he's gonna beat me. He got smashed.
Why
Imagine Wilder sold out 90,000. This guy has been pro for like 8 years, 9 years. If Wilder wants some of his work, you can definitely get it on ASAP.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Hey fellas, how you doing?
What's up, Rob?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, I'm glad to send you the topic your way. I thought it was a good chat.
It is. It's making for a lively conversation. So you're in the UK. Let me ask you a few questions, interview style. Bellew, Ward, who's the A side?
I feel it's Bellew, and that's not with my UK hat on. I think, especially if the fight's here, I know that kind of doesn't matter, A side, B side, wherever it is, but being in the UK, I'm pretty sure virtually every casual probably doesn't know who Andre Ward is. But I think, with my brother Eddie Hearn, he can build this up and really push this pound for pound number one, and Bellew against the odds against this pound for pound great fighter. I think this would sell huge in the UK. But I feel Bellew's the A side in this, as he's obviously at the weight or whatever, and Andre Ward's coming up. So that's what I think there.
And as far as legacy fight, is this a legacy fight for both men, or is it one-sided the way Matt believes?
I see where Matt's coming from. I think it's probably definitely more legacy for Bellew, but I take your points as well. I see it as Ward's cleaned out his division or whatever, or Adonis Stevenson not in the picture, but he's done everything there. But I feel it's probably more for Bellew. Yeah, give me the violins. It's cool.
Well, Rob, if you were
Scorsese's
Rob, if you were officially Robbie Hearn, aka Eddie,
aka the Beaver,
aka Eddie, what would you do as the promoter of Bellew? What would you recommend? Joseph, David, or Andre?
Well, I would definitely want. I've said it since they had that first little chat. I want the Andre Ward fight. I think that's the better fight. Like you guys were saying, a fit and healthy David Haye may not be the wisest choice. Parker, I know I keep having a joke saying Jose Parker, because just see him as a walking title. I think everyone looks at Parker and just say he's just waiting to meet somebody of slightly better standard that he's been fighting, and that's a title straight away for somebody. But if Bellew was to take on Parker, who does he defend it against? Like one of the other top guys? I mean, he's obviously not going to want to fight AJ. He's already said he doesn't want to take on Wilder.
Well, no, I mean, if you beat Parker, I think, Rob, you relinquish the title and come back down. That never works for people, but I mean, that's the safest thing to do.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But like you say, he's a proud guy, and he really, I think earlier in the interview, he just loves a fight, and I think in winning a heavyweight title, I don't know, maybe the crazy fighter part of his brain will kick in, and he'll want to do a defense or something stupid. But for me, the Andre Ward fight just makes so much more sense. I think even like business wise, career wise, it just ticks all the boxes for me. I know there's been like little polls put up on Twitter over here from different members of camps, and David Haye keeps coming out on top, and who they want Bellew to fight next. But I personally don't see he's got anything to prove there with David Haye. I know there's all this, we beat him on one leg and everything, but the fight's done. And I don't know. I just really want the Andre Ward fight, because pound for pound, number one. Bellew against the odds again. He always likes proving doubters wrong, although he probably would be favourite in this, being the bigger guy, but he will see it and build it as people will doubt me, and I think it's his motivation. Just like he likes to have all these doubters. But regarding the stadium that you mentioned. He doesn't want to fight there because I don't know if you picked up on the interview, but the stadium is the home of his beloved football team, and the pressure he felt during that when he won the title against Makubu. He said it was just too much, too insane. He couldn't do it again. It was just, he'd have sleepless nights just worrying about it. But yeah, I want the Ward fight. I think that's the ideal fight. I think it would do really well, especially in the UK. I'm not so sure if it went to America how well it would do, but it's got to be in the UK. I think, just like you said earlier, that the fans will be out for it. They'll love it.
Well, Rob, let me get to some other callers, man. Thank you again for the inside tip and bringing this one to our TBV listeners around the world. Remember, you can be just like Rob and call us absolutely free internationally from no matter what country you're in. Just go to Skype on your mobile or your desktop laptop. Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's NESTORGIBBS. We're going to go out to the phone lines. We're going to San Francisco, the home of Larry. What's going on, brother?
Hey, big up to the Boxing Voice. Hey, fantastic show. Thank you very much on this. It's not on demand, but immediate react show on that. Great audio from Tony Bellew. I like the way he broke it down. I like the way that he articulated and thought as a fighter and a businessman, because they all come together. I prefer Andre Ward to fight Stevenson, but I don't mind this fight. Now, of course, it's got to be in the UK. You want to go to where the money's at. You want to go where the most passionate fan base is at, where it's going to be big, and that's in the UK. So put the fight over there. In terms of how it will go, Tony Bellew is easy work for Andre Ward. I'm not down on Bellew. He's a good fighter, but there's levels to boxing. There's good fighters, Tony Bellew. There's elite fighters, Terrence Crawford, and there's transcendent fighters, Andre Ward. Ward is a full 2 levels beyond Bellew. Bellew won't win 3 rounds in that fight. I don't see it being close. In terms of Bellew manhandling Andre Ward, Ward would fight him on the outside like he did against Sullivan Barrera, and like he tried to do against Sergey Kovalev until he found out that wasn't wise, and then went inside. But no, I love big fights. I love Tony Bellew as a talker, and he's a good fighter. I'm not down on him. But at the end of the day, that's Ward, easy work. But let's do it in the UK. I'm out.
Larry, excellent call as always. Thank you for your opinion. We're going to head on out from San Francisco to Atlanta, to the home of Milkman. What's going on?
I told y'all a long time ago, the Kirkland will go down in 3 rounds.
Who's next? I got milk, baby.
Fellas. Okay, so if I'm Bellew, I got to ask myself, how many more fights do I have left? How many more fights do you think he has left in him?
Man, I mean, it's all strategic, definitely, man. If he decides to stay at like cruiser, then his days are probably, I mean, maybe he does have maybe like 3 more at cruiser because of the tournament. So all the heavy hitters are kind of out of the way, right? So like he could do a Lucien Boutte till that tournament is done. So he's safe until about, I don't know, 3 months after May, right? Matt, is that around the right date? So doesn't it end in May 18th?
Yeah. And what was his purse for the David Haye fight?
It was around 2.5. It was 2.5 million pounds guaranteed.
3.5. If he fought Ward, what do you think it would be? Just estimate.
3. Like 3 million? 3 million pounds, yeah.
I think,
plus
okay.
Pay-per-view, plus pay-per-view, because they get pay-per-view up in there.
Okay, if I'm Eddie Hearn, this is what I do. I push for the rematch with David Haye, because if he loses the rematch, they can always do a rubber match. So those are 2 more really good paydays. We all think that Ward is probably going to beat Bellew. If he loses to Ward, I think his stock drops, and he's going to be in a weird position. So right now he's in a really good position. He can either do the 2 rematches with David Haye, which I think they can easily line up, or he can go for some long, dangerous money and try to do a fight with Joshua. Maybe instead of $3 million, you try to get maybe 10 mil, 12 mil, and just call it a day, hang up the glove. And I'm out. I'm gone. I'm gone, y'all. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done.
Well, all right, Milkman. I don't know about that Joshua fight. He's already been very vocal in saying that'll never happen.
He don't want that. And I feel like, you know what? He feels comfortable. I think he feels more comfortable to get in there with Ward, you know what I mean? Because he feels that he is the bigger guy. I think that's the confidence that's leaning his mind towards that fight.
Yes. Hands of Stone. My fight is dropping today, but it's all up to Enrique. Listen, get on his Twitter, man. Spam that guy. At the end of the day, you know, he's stepping up to the plate. He's not charging anyone for his services. He was not the videographer or editor, and he's doing us a huge favor, man. It's the last fight. He said today, bear with him. You know what I mean? Bear with him. We're going to go out to some alumni. Let's get to Info Joe in L.A.
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the Know, presented by my brother.
Coffee brewed with Bud on a Friday, and I'm off work. It don't get no better than that with TBV. What's up, family? Doomsday. Matt, Ness.
Yo, that's what's up.
This is a legacy. This is a legacy fight for Ward, in my opinion, man. I would prefer if he stayed and fight Donna Stevenson, but he's daring to be great. Shout out to the Cali King. But if he goes up and beats Bellew, and I believe that he would take the title of the best of this era from Floyd Mayweather, in my opinion. He's challenging himself, man, beyond me, in my opinion. Yeah, if he does this, man,
you're driving drunk right now, man. Fight. Pull over before you get a DUI, all right? You're absolutely tipsy.
No, if he goes up to heavyweight.
Dude, it's 9:30 and you're this drunk. Come on.
Yo, did your wife spike your coffee? Did she put a little vodka in your coffee, a little brandy in your coffee? What's going on? How the hell is Bellew gonna make Ward? I don't even know what's the proper.
Joe's the biggest Andre Ward fan, so we just gotta, you know.
No, I see. Everyone is saying, everyone is either saying laugh out loud or laughing my ass off in the chat. So Joe.
Joe, that's some good weed you're smoking.
I know, man. I'm the biggest Ward fan.
Yo, what strain is that?
King, man.
What strain is that?
Oh,
Forget
man,
boxing strain? Damn, they're brutal. They said block his number. Oh my god, that guy AHH. He's such a mean guy.
God. Hey man, hey man, check this out. That's the most. I mean, for him to go up, he's to me, in my opinion, I think he shouldn't because he doesn't have the power, in my opinion, to keep bigger guys off of him. In my opinion, Ward. You know what I'm saying? And for him to challenge himself like this, man, if for him to win, oh man, shit, that's mega, man. You know, nobody's challenging himself like this in this era, man. And I respect Ward for doing that. Also, another point, Matt, the UK sells more pay-per-views because the prices are cheaper.
Oh, I know that. I think everyone sort of knows that. If I didn't stipulate that, I'm sorry. I just feel like everyone sort of understands that now. But for any new listeners out there, yes, UK pay-per-view is around $20 US compared to the 60, 70 for HD in the US.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, man. That's why this shit, man. Shit, everybody would have bought pay-per-views in America if shit was that cheap, man. It hasn't been that cheap since fucking Mike Tyson was fighting on pay-per-view.
And that was still $30.
Shout out to the UK. True. That's my call, man. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack from the best of this era, man. But in my opinion, I always had Ward a number 2 pound for pound under Floyd. So, and in my opinion, he's pound for pound number 1. And I think this is a step up in challenge for him. I would prefer if he fight Adonis Stevenson, though.
You know, Joe, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off the cliff with you. just so you don't take all them bullets alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna die with my peoples. I can see an argument, Matt, because of the jumping up in weight classes. But again, so did Floyd. He just started at lower weight classes, but some might equate what Ward is doing as more dangerous, because we all know that more pounds definitely means more power, which means more danger.
I'm not going to go through the resumes because I have them actually, I think, both open right here. Andre Ward's and
you're not going to go through them, but you've been going through them.
Like, let's just not compare the two. Like, that's all I'm saying.
All right.
But I will say this. A lot of the great things Andre Ward has done, and this goes to Alex's point of legacy defining, that this fight has some sort of legacy defining aspect to it if he makes it. People are forgetting the Carl Froch fight. People are forgetting the Super Six, just like they forget about the Diego Corrales win. Just like people forget the Castillo victories. People forget the Canaro victories. People forget all of those fights from Floyd back in the day, even though those were great fights. Like, people forget greatness often, so you have to keep reminding them. And for
that's why you do something like this, man, because it's done for me lately.
Let me finish. And for casuals, going up in weight and beating someone that you at least know of always means a lot. So I get why Andre Ward wants this. I do. I get it.
Very good. Right. All right. Well, at least we're all coming to some sort of common ground, right? Let's go out to some more alumni.
Popping all this champagne, popping all this rosé, getting money like Jose, King Cole, Norway. Shorty wants that foreplay. I'm like, no way. Gotta rock it like Coldplay, killing it. OJ, getting cheese like Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, hopped out there,
Boys,
90 seconds.
Thanks for the show, guys, again. Another interesting topic, man. This is just boxing. Like, as Info Joe always says, man, this is the boxing gods just being generous to the fans. And like, even just to hear this fight possibility is a really nice one. But again, I have to follow with a but. This doesn't do anything for Andre Ward at all. I have to disagree 100% with Info Joe. Yeah, he'll go up and he'll beat Bellew, like he'll beat a heavyweight, but
60 seconds.
He'll beat John Reese. Like, John Reese wasn't by any means a killer, but he had a belt. Like, I don't believe that Bellew.
I don't know if it'll be a heavyweight though. I think it'll be at cruiser. Why would Bellew do it at heavy?
He doesn't have a belt at cruiser, does he?
Well, he's emeritus status, and it's about name.
He at heavy.
But he doesn't have a belt at heavy either. So why remain there versus a light heavyweight? That doesn't make. I mean, I don't think so.
Because if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna take the risk, man, you gotta take the glory too, man.
Yeah, but remember, he is. Listen, he is. He is the true WBC champion at cruiserweight. He took emeritus status to take the fight with Haye.
10 seconds.
Okay, yeah. If that's the case, then yes, cruiser would that would be worth it. But it's not quite the same what Roy Jones did. Let's just be clear with that. Being heavyweight champion of the world is in and of itself. That's its own title, man. That's its own thing. Nothing is bigger, better, or badder than that. So if Ward can go in and get a title from anybody, doesn't matter who it's from, even if he's fighting some guy out of Trenton, New Jersey, man, calling himself Young Ali, it's still a belt. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. It doesn't matter what status or what level the fighter is at. It makes no difference. The thing is, he needs that belt. If he cements the belt and the victory, then he's forever gonna be like the best. In my opinion, he would be right at Floyd Mayweather Jr. level, man. I don't know. I could be wrong, but belts mean something, man. It really does, right? So who knows? That's what I think. Again, it doesn't have to be Anthony Joshua, right? It doesn't have to be the real champion. It could be like who's the worst one? Maybe Joseph. Is there another guy in there that's maybe not at that level? So I mean, it doesn't really matter who, as long as he just gets the belt. That's all I got to say. And that's it, boys. Peace.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in as always, Jose. We're gonna go out to our birthday boy out in Texas. Happy birthday. Well, belated. We tried to do this yesterday, but you jumped off. I'm sure you were enjoying your day, but
JD, motherfucker.
There's a lot of things I like to move, so just try to get on my game. I don't know why they gonna call me, but I'm a 54 pounder. But I have a brother that's at 160.
Yo, appreciate that birthday love, man. I missed yesterday. I had to do the dinner thing with the lady, but if I can run through my picks real quick, at least get those in. That's I'm going Broner by stoppage. Charlo stoppage, and I'm going Gerald Washington. And I can't remember nobody else. Of course, Frampton and the rest of those guys. But getting to this, man, I think I agree with Info Joe, because I mean, the fact that he just beat Kovalev twice. When let's rewind this shit like a year ago, when Kovalev was on the pound for pound list for some reason. We can't ignore the fact that he beat that man twice, moved up in weight to beat him. So I mean, I don't know what it is with Ward, but he got this kind of curse on his name or something, because the fact that we even got to ask who's the A side in this fight. When you ask a casual fan in the United States who is Tony Bellew, they're gonna be like, who the fuck is that guy? But if you ask a casual fan overseas, anywhere, they all know who Andre Ward is. So I mean, and I thought something that was real interesting too, the movie Creed. I don't know, I came on the show late. I don't know if y'all brought this up, but in the movie Creed, they were about to fight in that movie, I believe, and then Ward got hurt. Am I right? Or
no, I think so. Yeah. Well, no, weren't they like sparring? What, both of them were sparring partners or something like that? Bellew fought.
No, I think Ward.
Well, I don't know. I know they were both in the movie. They both were in the movie, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. I think Bellew was the guy, the big boogie monster, and Ward was supposed to go fight him, but I think he got hurt. If I can remember the shit right. But I just thought that was interesting. You know what I'm saying? As far as this fight goes, but yeah, man, I would like to see it. I hope the fight get made, and I hope Ward go. I hope they have it in the UK, even though Ward is the A-side, but they bring a bigger crowd, man. You can't hate on that big, 80,000, 70,000 plus people. So yeah, man, that's my intake on that fight, man. But appreciate the happy birthdays.
Hey JD, Larry says you were right. He says Ward was gonna fight Pretty Ricky Bellew. Stuntman got hurt, which is Ward, and Adonis Creed stepped in, which is Michael B. Jordan. So Jew, we're right, my friend. Jew, we're right. We're going to go out to our last caller of the day. This is a spontaneous show. Plus, we got a lot of other things scheduled for you guys today. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel right here so you can get that notification. You want to make sure you hit that notification bell so you get a ping every time we do schedule a show. We're going to have about 3, maybe even 4 more or 3 more. I don't know, depending on how badly I can work Matt over there. We're going to treat Matt like some overseas help, you know what I mean? Let's get to, again, the last caller and Alumni.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see some motherfucker just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next, what a great show. Thumbs up, donate. Hey, yo, what's happening, people? So with that high energy.
Yo.
What up?
Man, you niggas, man. Anyways, anybody on there in the chat, we will holler to you. Always supporting, catch up with the shows. If somebody said on the chat that you guys be putting mad shows, I'm one of those guys who's fucking catching up. Always a good thing. Love my TVB. That being said, fuck Tony Bellew. That's a bullshit fight. Nobody want to see that shit. What the fuck, bro? The WBC gonna come now, put a bell on the line too? That's another shit I want to talk about. So, Indian Broner gonna have another belt just fall on his lap. And we're just gonna be chilling with that. I'm picking AB, but at the same time, bro, what the fuck, B? We can't be having these people 4 or 5 time fucking champions of the world and overshadowing the Lainez on the past. When on the past,
Georgie, you talk about mafias and all this corruption, and I would at least assume that someone that is so worried about people doing some sort of trickery and fuckery to him and the sport that he loves would at least try to educate himself a little bit more. You're calling in here with all these, horrible words that you're using.
What the fuck is the WBC Diamond Bell net?
Exactly.
What is it?
Exactly. It's absolutely nothing. It's never in the history of boxing ever given the fighter any sort of credibility. It doesn't make him a champion. It doesn't make him a mandatory to the champion. Nothing happens. This is just a way for the WBC to be involved in a big fight.
If that is true, why we have Adrian Broner on fucking YouTube talking about 5-time champion
because
of the world?
Because he, like you, don't know shit about boxing. But guess what? A lot of people don't know shit about boxing. But there is no fucking way in the world that the WBC could give them a diamond belt and make them a champion over Terrence fucking Crawford. And you should be a hardcore. You shouldn't make me get upset early in the morning.
But the perception of the
there is no perception. There is no perception. You know the difference. You should be getting up here clowning him. You should be getting up here clowning him, saying that he is so uneducated that he believes he's going to be a 5-time champion. But for you to blame anyone but yourself for the ridiculousness that's coming out your mouth, I mean, come on. Everybody knows a diamond belt means nothing. It means nothing. All a diamond belt is like one of the other names or logos that you see throughout a fight. It's advertisement. Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC are just like any other business. They want to be involved with what is considered a big fight.
I stopped deriding these people. Listen, let me have my last word, bro, because you got the whole show to talk. The other day, yesterday, you went up on Scorsese. This is the voice of the people. Yeah, Scorsese got a hole in his fucking face, and he's allowed to express his opinion, even if you don't agree with it, Nes. Like, I'm allowed to express my opinion, too.
And did I cut you short? Did I cut you short? No. What this show has always been established on is the Thunderdome. While some may try to steal that from us, we have always been that. And that is what this is. There is a number here so that you can call in. So that you can call in and give your opinion. But if your opinion ain't worth shit, I'm going to tell you. The same way that when I make a wrong pick, you call in here and you make sure that I hear you. Come on, you're in the chat talking shit about me every day. So you're telling me now that you call in and you make a mistake, I don't got the opportunity, I don't get the chance to jump on you and tell you you're wrong? When every time that I'm wrong, you call in here just to rub it in my face?
Listen, you gotta stop minimizing my accomplishments, number one. Number two,
Doggy, you gotta understand that I took your ponytail and you have never avenged that. I took your look at you. You could get every pick in the world, right, Georgie? Georgie, you could get every pick.
Even my rookie year.
Yo, Georgie, you could get.
Not even my rookie year, B.
Georgie, you could get every pick in the world. You could get every pick in the world, right? But the world will always remember that I made you cut 6 inches. 6 inches of real fucking hair. You donated that shit to Kids for Tots.
My nigga coming out with shit. He's reminiscing now. Let's say who you got. This is right now. Did you change to fucking Mikey? Yes or no?
I don't know what you're talking about, but the only challenge I'm accepting of yours. The only challenge I'm accepting of yours is the one that you made last night. Send the contract.
You signed the contract. Listen, we're going no gloves, hand wraps, 1 round, no time limit.
Blood sport, nigga. Whatever you want.
Everybody there supporting the Nate.
Yo, we could definitely soak our hand wraps in crazy glue and sharded glass and go for kill. Let's do it.
Straight tempo.
Straight up blood sport style. Listen, this has been another episode of The Boxing Voice. That was our last call. We want to thank everyone that joined into this episode to make it as great as it was. Don't forget to drop us a 5-star review on iTunes to continue to help us be the #1 boxing podcast in the world. And your 5-star review will be read here live on the show on our next episode. Don't forget, you can also support this podcast, the one that you love, the one that comes on early in the morning while you're up with your coffee and, like Info Joe, your bud. Go on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliate sponsors. Whenever you're going to do any Amazon shopping, use our affiliate link. We get a small kickback. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it will help Matt get from LA to New York for that big Canelo Alvarez immediate reaction Triple G live post-fight show here with Doomsday and Enrique Casual Church. Monster Piece will be in the building. Hopefully Paul Yearwood could come down. Adam Spielberg. It will be a movie, and you can help that happen just by using our Amazon link. But if you want to go a step further, you can also send us a donation. Use that donation button on ThaBoxingVoice.com and make sure you emphasize on that message that it's for Matt to get to New York City. What else do I have to remind you about other than I am on Instagram and all forms of social media at NestGTO? And my fight drops today. Be kind. Be kind.
I'm Matt the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram. My MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios, on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, etc. We did a show on, obviously, UFC 214, John Jones versus Dana Cormier. Go check it out. Mr. Doomsday was on it. And I was also invited on another show called the Loaded Joe's MMA Podcast. You can find that with the exact name on Facebook, on iTunes, on Stitcher, and check out that podcast as well. I was invited on to talk about Mayweather versus McGregor. So if you want to hear more talk about that fight, I guess, go check that out. But peace.
And you can catch me on IG, Alex_Doomsday_LAINEZ.
He's doing a horrible job of promoting himself. He's going up for what is considered the biggest fight of his career in Border Wars 2. He's taking on a quote-unquote professional fighter, has now 7 straight wins, going for his 8th win. He's been campaigning his entire career at 160 pounds. Doomsday will be dropping in weight. Make sure you follow him on social media as you take that journey from 208 pounds down to a solid 175 lean pounds as he takes on Coach Mitty from the United Kingdom.
And Robbie.
Robbie Hearns.
Yeah, you can also check me out on Facebook, Alexander Lainez, Lainez. And yeah, follow me on my journey. I need all the support I can get. I need help. Wait.
Yeah, you do.
Support. Somebody better check on me when that fight drops. Listen to Hands of Stone. This is supposed to be my friend. Hands of Stone. Ness, he's going to fuck you up with my critiquing on Patreon if you lose. Can't wait.
Oh my God.
Damn. Thank you.
It'll be fun. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
We're gonna Matt, you're so lucky. That's why, look, Matt, I'm gonna just tell you guys something. Matt has been trying to get out of that Warren fight, but I will not.
How have I been trying to get out of it? How have I been trying to get out of it?
I have to go and rummage through, that's the wrong word. Rummage through garbage cans looking for bottles and cans to take to some whatever those places bums take it to get a couple of change, to round up some money, to bring Warren down here to whoop your ass. I might give him the same bet I gave you, to train in the same gym you train. If you critique me as bad as you say that you are, okay, buddy? I'm just saying. Everybody play nice is all I'm saying. Remember once upon a time, when you had to fall into Doomsday's arms from, all the pain that you had to receive. But we're out of here. We're going to be back, actually. We got more shows coming today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. 1 o'clock is the Broner Garcia weigh-in. Make sure you watch it, because if it's good, we're doing an immediate reaction. We are working today. # we working. Peace.